Hey guys, it's your girl JD and welcome back to my channel for another episode of Jchats. Now, before I go any further, I want to remind you, don't forget to comment and subscribe. And you know what? Click like. I'll appreciate that. Hi guys, it's JD. Welcome to the final episode of Season 1 of Jchats. Today, as we lead into the carnival season right here in Trinidad and Tobago, I thought it best to invite my very good friend and internationally known makeup artist, Miss Paulla de Souza. Paulla de Souza is a name synonymous with beauty, a true connoisseur of art. Her interest in the beauty industry began at a very early age. It was therefore no surprise that she pursued a career in fashion and beauty. Paulla started out as a hairstylist in her late teens. Her journey as a professional makeup artist spanned over 14 years when she met the late Jean Innes, Trinidad and Tobago's premier makeup artist, who recognized Paulla's natural flair for makeup. With her natural artistic abilities and sensitivity, Paulla quickly distinguished herself and went on to become one of the most sought-after makeup artists in the Caribbean and South America. This profound talent also led her to Europe and the continent of West Africa. Paulla's work has spanned a variety of events, including bridal parties, beauty events, fashion shows, music videos, television shows, ads, and so much more. Some of the famous faces Paulla has worked on are Alison Hines, Nikki Crosby, Rachel Price, Jade Cole, Michelle Khan, Natasha Jones, Nadine Willis, Too Intrigued, Nikki Cordner, Nisha B, hey, and even me, and that's just a few. Paulla de Souza will always be a name synonymous with beauty, whatever the occasion is, once the object is to look good. Her services are sought after by many. Paulla also dedicates her time to teaching the art of makeup application to members of professional women's groups and several prominent individuals. And you know what? She's even doing that here today inside of Jchat, sharing tips, the do's and the don'ts, and so much more. So keep it locked. It's now time for the final episode of Jchat inside Season 1. Hi guys, welcome back to Jchats. This is the final episode in Season 1, and well, you can say I love the best for last, because we're getting ready for Carnival 2018. As you look around, we've got fetes, we've got all the events to attend this year, and looking good is important. So, I asked a favor of my very dear friend, Miss Paulla de Souza, internationally recognized makeup artist based right here in Trinidad and Tobago. Now, Paulla has done many of the famous faces across Trinidad and Tobago, from comedians such as Nikki Crosby, Rachel Price, even some of us inside of the broadcasting world. Welcome, Paulla, to Jchats. Nice to have you here.
Thank you.
Always
Thank
good
you
to see
very
you.
much.
You look absolutely amazing.
Thank you, JD. You as well.
Thank you. Coming from her, that's plus. Kudos to the makeup artist in the background. So, Paulla, it is carnival time. We have things to get ready for, and I do want to always look as flawless as possible to go to these many events. We gave Trinidad and Tobago and also our international listeners a little bit about you in your bio before. So let's get straight into the nitty-gritty and take all we can from you, all right?
Yes.
One of the first things I know you've always drilled in my head is about skincare.
Yes. Skincare is very important, not just save makeup, but in 10 years from wherever you're at, whether you're in your 20s, 30s, or 40s, your skin is going to love you fit. Skincare is like your investment.
Yes.
Because if you want to look fabulous with 50 or 60, you got to start exactly where you are. And I know most people are into a very basic skincare routine, but the 411 on it is this. The basic skincare routine: cleanse, exfoliate, tone, and moisturize, and protection. So the 5 things that you must include in your daily routine, in the mornings especially. Protection has a lot to do with SPF. Sun is our #1 enemy when it comes to aging. Because a lot of times, especially lighter skin tones, you notice when women get to their 40s and 50s, they develop these dark spots, different places, cheeks especially. That is as a result of sun damage.
Right.
Yeah. So Protection is important.
And I think one of the things I remember in having many discussions with Paulla before, one of the things you said that many of us in Trinidad and Tobago, myself at that point included, never thought much about the sunscreen and how important that is.
Yes.
So it applies to all shades of skin, and I think that's
every shade of skin. Another thing, when you get to your 30s, one of the things you want to include in your skincare routine is a serum. What a serum does, it penetrates to the deeper layers of the skin. And it's not about oils, because a lot of times women think moisturizing, I get too oily so I don't moisturize. Hello, has absolutely nothing to do with oils. It's about moisture, keeping the skin moist, and then of course from the inside out, eating right, drinking your water, everything has a lot to do with it. So don't just concentrate on covering up. Let's take care of our skin first, because good skin and makeup is like hand in glove. So for sure, that's one of the things. I feel as though Paul is just talking to me there as well, because I can admit that I was one of those that wasn't really too diligent on moisturizing and exfoliating and doing all that. And I was literally surprised when Paula would look at my face and say, "You don't moisturize, do you?" How do you know? Because I was also one of those that thought I had oily skin, and I learned from many of the makeup artists that do my face is not necessarily oily. Yes. So we do have to do research as well to find out what sort of skin we have, whether it's combination and all these different things. Well, most women have combination skin.
Right.
And another thing the moisturizing does, which is a lot of people don't really think about it, you see, when you get to sometimes as early as your 20s, you start developing lines. Now, we can't stop the whole aging thing, but we could cheat it.
Yes.
And you can look for as long as you want to. Moisturizing is the key.
It's key. So
yes,
that's the foundation.
Yes, and at nights is when I tend, for me personally, at night is when I tend to really go to town on my moisturizing. I even use natural oils. For example, can I say that?
Yeah.
Oh, for example, one of the oils that I like, two actually, pure vitamin E oil and the organic castor oil. They're actually making it in such a way you have all the little what is that little squeezy thing?
Like beads, almost.
No, at the top of the cover there's a little squeezy thing. You pull it out and you just put a few drops.
Okay.
And then you need to brush the lashes and all that stuff. So moisturizer, I use my regular moisturizer, night cream, because at night is when the skin tends to replenish itself. So, and then I use my oils on top of that, especially around my eyes.
So Paula, just a few minutes ago, you spoke about letting us know that you do have, some persons have combination skin versus oily skin, etc. Can you dive into the proper preparation when it comes to skincare?
When it comes to makeup?
Makeup.
Okay, great, because one of the questions that I get asked a lot, or maybe a comment more so, clients will want to know, how come when you do my makeup it lasts so much longer than when I do it? Guess what? Preparation is so important. It depends on the occasion. I will tell you about my strategy. Depends on the occasion. Definitely start with a scrub and sometimes even a mask, because you want your makeup to look as flawless as possible and stay as long as possible. So moisturizing is it. And because I'm almost 50, I use moisturizer around my eyes as well, because that helps with whatever product you put there.
Right.
And then of course a primer, which is very important. And then you have to really develop an intimate relationship with your skin, so you know what works for you. But the basic steps: scrub. Well, not every client that I will scrub, because I've scrubbed you a few times, because you want to get rid of all that buildup on the skin. So scrub, moisturize, prime.
That's every time you've done my face, you did scrub. So
yeah, because well, not necessarily, because it's one of the preparations, and for me, I want my skin to be nice, my canvas to be nice and smooth and flawless.
So Paula, can you share some info about selecting the right foundation? I think that's one of the most hardest things for me to do. So can you share with our viewers how we do the process in which we go about doing that?
Right. Selecting the right foundation has a lot to do with knowing what your skin type is, because foundations are created for the different skin types as well. For example, if you have very oily skin, you don't want to go with an oil-based foundation, because that's going to make your skin very oily. if your skin is dry, you don't want to go with a foundation that is designed for oily skin because that is going to defeat the whole purpose. When selecting a foundation, because I'm also in the retail industry now,
right,
because I represent an international brand, I usually test the foundation on the chest, the color, because the palette doesn't stop at your jawline. It comes all the way here. What happens when you have this perfect thing going on from here to here, and then you wear something that exposes your chest and it's totally different.
Right.
So I try to match the chest, so when you put the face on, you could blend the foundation on or under the jawline, and then so everything is just one even, the cohesiveness of one color.
Right.
That is what I personally like. So
can I also add, one of the things I remember you telling me about the different types of foundation, and I'm talking about whether it's the cream to powder, whether it's the liquid foundation. Is there any sort of thing that we need to be aware of when it comes to selecting that? Because sometimes when you've done my face in the past, you would say, I'd apply the cream to powder for this occasion, whether it's a lot of outside events that I would do. Whereas, does it matter with location of the particular client where they're going to?
When it comes to the formula, I think it's a personal preference.
Right.
And for example, when I recommend products to clients or customers, I ask what your schedule is, especially in the mornings.
Yes.
Everybody wants something that is like fast and easy to apply. So I recommend a CC cream and I recommend a cream to powder because it's just really easy and effortless to apply. When you're going to go out, well, some other products, other formulas takes a little bit more time to apply, like for example the full coverage cream or the mattifying fluid. So you could wear it every day if you want to, but when it comes to the formula, whether it's cream to powder, a CC cream or whatever, it doesn't matter. It's really, really up to your personal preference. What is very important for you to note is the texture, in terms of what it's formulated for. Whether you have oily or dry or combination or whatever.
Most important.
That is the most important thing.
And then I guess what you were saying with the others is due to time, your time management.
Yes.
So if you're on the
go. Because
go,
there's some women who just want easy.
Yes.
So CC cream.
Easy but still effective.
Exactly.
And flawless.
Yes.
All right. So application is, I know one of the things you always say in terms of application, less is always more.
That is my mantra. Less is more. Because honestly, the purpose of a foundation is just to create the illusion of flawless skin. Why would you want to paste it on? Like for example, last night, well, I don't know if I could say last night, but whatever. Anyway, you told me about the whole, the new thing that is crazy.
I'm seeing online, yes.
Yeah. They apply the powder first before you put on the foundation or whatever. But really and truly, one of the things that I totally hate, you see that beauty blender that is be pasting on? I am not a big fan of that. First and foremost, the beauty blender is not an applicator, it's a finishing tool. Okay, ladies?
Yes, ma'am.
Use your beauty blender to finish, not the application. 2 reasons. One, your beauty blender suck up half of your product.
Right.
So you will be spending so much money on product because half of it is in your sponge. So I do, depending on the formula, for example, the CC cream, a little bit on my finger, spread, beauty blender, and that's it. Or your brush.
Right.
Because a brush is absolutely an amazing tool, especially if you have a good brush. So you brush on your foundation from the center and out, and you just use your beauty blender to kind of even out everything.
Right.
Yeah. So the whole idea, I think, from my observation, the whole drag queen thing, men who are dressing, nothing's wrong with that. But remember, they're shaving and they have all of that to cover up. So they literally have to create a new skin. So that's why they paste the foundation on, because they have to cover up all of that. Women, we don't need that.
Right.
And I prefer a woman to look very feminine because the line is so thin between crossing over to the whole drag queen finish. So less is more.
Less is more.
And less is more, and it's easier to maintain as well. It lasts longer and it looks more flawless.
You know, one of the things that I notice as we look around, whether it's on social media, any platform, you see that color is the thing these days. Colorful outfits, yes. And do you think that we have an issue of too much color, almost like fighting each other in terms of the makeup, going against too much of the, yes?
Oh my gosh. Yes. Because here's the thing, why do you want to compete with what you're wearing?
Right.
And like I said, recently I asked a question to a group of makeup artists. What or who inspires your artistry? Where do you look for inspiration? And because my whole thing was always been to work in the international arena, when you look at the magazine cover, you don't see that. Anytime you look into a magazine and you see a lot of colors because they're advertising a new line of shadows that just came out, or a new lipstick, you don't need all of that.
The things I want you to touch on, Paulla, because it is Carnival, and in Trinidad and Tobago, not only is it the greatest show on earth, but a lot of color is one of the things that really stands out during this time of year. Not just talking about Carnival Monday and Tuesday now, I'm talking about all the events that are leading up to it. So we've got all the colorful outfits. Shouldn't we just also have, I know you're talking about the color, but shouldn't we also have the face colorful as well, popping color?
Girl, I leave that to Kaleidoscope.
Okay.
Because like I said earlier, you don't want your face to
Right.
be clashing with your outfit.
Okay.
Not that you can't wear color, because I know there are some women who prefer, they're very out there, the personality, and makeup really is an expression of you.
Right.
And I would say anything more than three colors is too much.
Too much.
Yes, there's a thin line between a very classy, elegant finish and something that looks like if you're walking off of a stage. So color placement is important, and choose, I would choose the less dominant color in the outfit, and I would use that one to pop.
And you just said stage. I want to take from that, because I guess what we get mixed up with is that stage makeup is totally different from you attending a show. So we would look at those girls maybe who are doing the carnival lunch in costumes and seeing that they have very profound with their color. So maybe that's what we look at thinking, because we do tend to look at these things and take example, but again, stage is stage and an event is totally different from that.
Guess where I think the whole mix-up came from?
Where?
You see that YouTube and Instagram? The blind leading the blind big time. So these girls are just there and they're bored and they're experimenting. And a woman now who, she may not be able to afford to go to a spa or a makeup artist for consultation. She, first thing she goes on to, smoky eyes, and go onto YouTube to get her inspiration from there. And she's seen somebody who's doing whatever, and for whatever reason they think that's gospel.
But then I think one of the things I remember you saying that applies to that person.
Exactly. There's absolutely nothing wrong with looking to YouTube or Instagram for inspiration. But just note that what you see is not real. Everything is filtered, that's the first thing.
Right.
And then of course you need to be aware of the fact that they're making up their face. Their eyes are different shape, different facial shape, everything. So when she or he, because I could say both, because you know, men are doing their makeup too.
Ma'am.
When she or he is contouring, they're contouring their face. So it's important for you to read, especially the women who are trying to get into makeup artistry as a profession. Understand what you're doing, so when you get to a client, you are doing what is best for her,
Right.
as opposed to what you're seeing. So that is my advice. I'm not knocking YouTube or Instagram, but it really is important for you to understand what is what.
I think we just use the broad brush for everyone else. We just look at that and say that will apply to us, and we shouldn't.
No, because everybody's different.
All right, so I'm running out of time, but and I know you've got so many things to get on with. Lashes. Let's talk about the eyelashes. I see yours. Do they say eyelashes on fleek, or is the eyebrows on fleek?
Well,
But
I
listen
don't
to me,
know.
your eyelashes are amazing.
Flick.
Yes. So,
Well-
is there doing with that?
Actually, yes, and well, Carnival is really a busy time, and you really don't always have the time to sit down and get your makeup done from scratch. So I would definitely recommend getting eyelash extensions, because once your eyebrows are done and your skin is flawless,
Right.
you have some eyelashes. Everything else you could get a face in 20 minutes. But hear what? You see that broom that they be walking around with? That's a no-no. Eyelashes is about adding expression to the eyes. You know, you want to put your lashes in such a way that it frames your eyes and not make it look like if it's a weird shape. And as a friend of mine said, the girl eyelashes look like a broom you can sweep the street with.
Right.
No, we don't want to go for that. And for the women who don't want to do the individual eyelash extensions, there are lots of absolutely gorgeous strip lashes out there. And I personally like to invest in ones that are of a good quality. So it's a little more than, you know, $15 or whatever. So I would spend your money and get something quality that you could actually wear, because I think these eyelashes that I'm wearing, this is probably about the 4th or 5th time I'm wearing them.
Really? I heard about the reuse.
Yes, and I don't even feel, once I put them on, I don't feel it until I'm ready to take it off. It's not there. The hair and everything is very soft. And it's one of the ways to just pop your eyes and make them look really sexy. Keep your eye makeup simple and eyelashes. Well, of course, you know, you have your different finishes, so it all depends on what you're going for when it comes to your eye makeup.
I need to wrap it up right here inside of Jchats in just a few minutes, but I've got just a few more things to pass on to Paulla. One of them, thank you so much for all the tips you've shared so far, but are there any final words you want to share with our viewers? Just a synopsis of everything that you've told us today.
Well, definitely, skincare is very important. Make sure that you include it in your bath routine and not be lazy and say, oh, I don't have enough time. If you don't have enough time in the mornings, do it in the evening time. So skincare, choose the right foundation. Your foundation, concealer and powder should match with your skin tone. And don't do the light foundation or the dark powder or whatever it is. Everything must match perfectly. So I think that's basically it. And then keep it simple. Less is more. And if you're going to go for eyelash extensions, keep it very simple. Don't put on 2 packs on one eye. Doesn't look good.
Paulla, we have 30 questions coming up. And I want you, 30 questions we've compiled, I should say. And I want you to just choose one number out of that to share. Well, it will be assigned to a question that I'm going to ask you, and that's coming up in just a bit. But right now, though, getting in contact with you is very important. I know you're on social media, you're on Facebook, Instagram, and all the other platforms. Can you share that info with our viewers so we can get in contact with you?
Yes, my Facebook page, everything is Paulla de Souza actually, but you need to remember Paulla is with 2 L's.
Yes.
And guess what? I know everybody is big on how many followers this person have, but hey, or what? If you judge me like that, you'll be missing a treat. So Paulla de Souza, Paulla_de Souza for Instagram, and Paulla de Souza for Facebook. I only recently started the whole social media thing because, I mean, I really don't have the time. But I realize that it's very important. While there's so many people who love my work and love what I do, they would choose somebody else over because this person have a gazillion thousand followers. So don't get tired with that. A lot of the people who are very, very, very good at what they do, you don't see them making videos and stuff like that because they're really very busy people.
And you're one of those.
Yeah. Thank God.
All right. So we have that spotlight where you're going under that spotlight live for the question. Are you ready for it?
I think so. Let me see my lucky number, or I'm just gonna go with a number that I like for right now, and 15 is jumping at me.
15. What would you tell, or what advice would you give your 15-year-old self?
Well, first of all, I am trying to think what the hell I was doing at 15 because that seemed like it was forever ago. As a matter of fact, I think I was still at school. I think I would have probably paid more attention to what was going on around that time. You know, I did the academics thing, but I think I knew that I wasn't into academics from that I think I started doing here when I was about 13 or 14. So my focus wasn't there, but I think if I had to do it over again, I would put a little more emphasis because it's always nice to have something else to fall back on. So that's the advice I would give to my 15-year-old self. But no, I'm going to say that.
Thank you very much, Paulla, for joining us inside of Jchats. Yeah, it's always good to see you.
Yes,
And I'll see you soon in your seat, right?
Yes.
All right.
Thank you. Blessings and light.
Of course. And that's one of the things I love about her. She always says blessings and light. So it's about that time for us to wrap it up inside of season 1. But don't go anywhere, because in just a few minutes you're going to meet all the folks behind the scene. And I know, first of all, the producer is so excited about it. This is Jchats season 1 wrapping up. We'll see you inside of season 2. I'm JD. Take care.
Hi, I'm Paulla, the Souza makeup artist, and you're watching Jchats.
No matter the project you embark on, having a team is vital. So I'm going to say thank you very much to the team members here at Jchats. You've got Nikita Henry, owner of Patriotic TT, local creative videographer DeAndre Wilson, Devon Leonard at Arc Media Limited, Daniil Trotman, makeup artist and owner of T-Zone Makeup Artistry, not forgetting the folks here at Spa Nail Lounge. Thank you so much for your involvement.